Isaac, I can smell the contaminated air from here. It's spreading faster than I expected. I'm trying to isolate it, but it's not going to buy us much time. We have to get that thing off this ship. The chemicals you need are in the chemistry lab. I'll hack the door for you when you get there.
This is the very first chapter where we return to a previously explored area in this game. We return back to the medical ward. And right from the get-go, you know something is not right with this place. It's very different. For example, there are no body bags anymore. There are lanterns on the ground. It's much darker than before. So you know, okay, something's weird about this place, but you don't know what. But I'll tell you. We're introduced to a new enemy, and actually, it's not a necromorph this time, as you will see in a couple of seconds, or minutes. Now that right over there that I'm pointing at is the Guardian. It's a new enemy type. And actually, you can kill it very easily with just throwing an explosive barrel at it. However, fighting more than one of these Guardians can be quite the chore to do, as you're going to see in a later mission where I fail pretty hard at trying to kill two at the same time. Now these Guardians, as they're called, I think these are those people that were stuck to the organic walls in the previous chapters, and I guess they transform into these. I mean, I haven't found any evidence, well, in this game so far, that those people transform into the Guardians, but I guess it's like heavily implied that they do. But it's a nice little bit of detail to go along with the game. Before we get the chemical capsule out of the desk in this room, we're introduced to another enemy. And this enemy is called the Hunter, which you'll see in a moment. And this Hunter is very much the equivalent to the Resident Evil 4 regenerators, those creepy things. And this is pretty creepy as well. And you will eventually have to fight it throughout this entire chapter, and it gets pretty intense because there's no way you can kill it. Well, not in this chapter at least, but you'll see just how intense it really is to fight this creature, as you're going to see in a couple of seconds from now.
What are you doing? Your fight for survival is admirable but pointless. And yet you keep on going. It almost makes me think that we had hope as a species. Am I the only one who sees that we have died out a long time ago? We just haven't accepted it yet. Stop running. Stop your struggle. Our future, your future, the future of our race ends here. Allow me to introduce you to humanity's child, the children that will replace us, our greatest creation.
Isaac! It's just gonna keep regenerating! Get out of there! Run! Now you need to find a DNA sample of the growth. According to lab records, there's an inert sample stored in the ICU. A Dr. Mercer was apparently doing intensive research on it. I've been trying to contact Hammond, but all I'm getting is static. Isaac, you've got to hurry.
Your persistence surprises me. Holding on to your final breath, you claw your way along. You hold on to what was once your war, but now belongs to the children. Be glad of the knowledge that your death will bring their birth. Listen. Can you hear it? It's coming. Say your prayers.
We're going to have a bit of a detour before we get that sample in that guy's laboratory. For this interesting moment right here. You just see this woman crying, and to this day I don't know if she's a hallucination, if she's real, or maybe she's not even real at all, as I'm gonna point out in a moment. She's just covered in blood, crying, and whatever I do to interact with her, she doesn't do anything at all. She's just standing there crying. I don't know if she's gone insane or anything. There's a body next to her, below the bed. I don't know if she was here a moment ago or if she just showed up here. There's never explained. This body that's laying down actually looks a lot like her, which that kind of threw me off. And I don't know if, like, is this supposed to be like her sister? Is she crying that she died, or maybe it actually is her, and maybe she's like a spirit or something. I don't know. I mean, I stomp on it, try to see if that would affect anything, but no, she's just standing there crying. I do anything with her, and she's just standing there crying. So I really don't know. This part just comes off really creepy for me, because it's just, whatever I do, nothing. She does nothing. Here's a bit of a close-up for her, and you can see just how bloody she is. And you can see actually her eyes are white too, which adds to the creepy factor. So I guess maybe the developers themselves just wanted to have this moment to be kind of ambiguous as to, is she really there? Is this just a hallucination for you or not? However, you will return to this area and she'll actually will be dead. So that's interesting. That's weird. Well, time to move along.
Adding sample 9797 to chemical contact.
Person log, Dr. Chalice Mercer. The specimen continues to respond well to my experiments. Its cellular fortitude, not to mention elasticity, is remarkable. Dr. Kine, I'm sure, would disapprove. But I do not anticipate that issue, as the good doctor is busying himself with the marker. As if that matters now. He has also succumbed to the same dementia that afflicted the colony. Only yesterday he told me he had spoken to his wife, but Amelia Kine has been dead for some years. My subject grows restless. Patience. Your time is soon. Very soon.
That's it, Isaac. Now you just need to...
This has gone far enough. Accept your part in the God's plan. Embrace your own extinction.
Warning. Life support system failure on medical deck.
What the hell was
Please
that?
evacuate immediately.
Isaac, he's decompressed the entire deck, and I'm being locked out of those systems. All the air has been vented into space. You should be able to bring it back online from the security station, but you don't have much time.
At this point in time, we're going to make a mad dash back to the starting area of the chapter. Before that, I got to clear this hallway of these little things. Sure, it's just me kind of wasting ammo and trying to kill each and every one of them. But at the same time, I don't want to waste any of my health on them either. So, yeah. Not only that, this adds a lot of tension because you're also running out of oxygen, so you got to do this as quickly as possible. I'm going to just let most of this speak for itself. However, before I do that, just wanted to point out that, see, with the lack of oxygen, she actually did die. So I guess she actually was real, I guess? I don't know. There's a lot of it's still kind of up to your interpretation, which is still cool. Well, let's see if I can do this without taking any damage. I'm not going to kill any of the enemies and just make one long mad dash over there.
Perhaps now you will understand. The work I have done must continue. Will continue. I, Dr. Charles Mercer, shall serve as the catalyst to the salvation of our species. These specimens will return to Earth with me. I will spread their divine glory across the entire planet. I will leave you with my creation. Embrace the inevitable.
And here's the last part of this chapter where you have to fight this hunter. However, there are lurkers around, so you gotta be mindful of them. So what you gotta do is just trap him, or trap it, into this chamber right here. Use the stasis, and run to that little room where the scientist was in, and freeze him. And that's pretty much it for the hunter. Well, at least for this chapter. You will be seeing him in, I guess, I'm trying to remember, like 2 chapters from now, where you actually find out he's been unfrozen, probably by the scientist, because after all, he did create him. So, and then you don't have to worry about him until chapter 10, where you're gonna have to fight him again one last time. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this chapter. It's a very short chapter. It's the first short chapter in this game. There are 2 other chapters that are pretty short, but they're later on, and I'll point them out. So yeah, not much happens. You know, you're introduced to 3 new enemies. You know, the scientist guy, who's gonna be a pain in the butt, trust me, and the guardians and the hunter. Even though I kind of wish the hunter would appear more often, kind of like a nemesis type character, but he doesn't, so that kind of sucks. Oh well. Yep, that's pretty much it for this chapter, and I will see you next time.